morning and welcome to Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Enemchuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me the ever beautiful, glowing Ifoma Oji. Let us rest there for a while.
Thank
Good
you
morning,
so
how
much,
are you
Sharon.
doing?
Good morning. I'm very
You
well
look
as
really
always.
beautiful.
Yes,
You like
you look splendid.
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
we're not just two in the studio. I have with me Mr. Daniel Sacramento. Good morning, sir. Comrade, how are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
You know, how are you
Good
doing?
morning.
I'm just there.
Well, no, I know. Until we start talking now, you see Mr. Daniel Now, we're going straight to the two headlines, but very explosive headlines that we have for this morning. Now, we dive into two stories taking the very core of the nation. In a bold move, the Nigerian Senate has passed a bill mandating life imprisonment for anyone convicted of defiling a minor. A landmark decision in a country where child sexual abuse has long thrived under weak enforcement and cultural silence. But is this a move in the right direction, you might ask? Well, we cannot but agree to that. Now, as if that's not enough, the Presidency and the Christian Association of Nigeria, Kanu, alleged that Christians are being deliberately targeted and exterminated in what they call a silent genocide. The Presidency has come out strongly calling the claims false and irresponsible, sparking outrage from Christian leaders and human rights advocates. Is the government in denial, or is Kanu playing politics with tragedy? We break it all down right here on Morning Pulse, asking the uncomfortable questions and holding power to account. No filters, no fluff. And we are going straight to the stories that we have, starting first with what just went down in the Senate. But before we get our opinions and our thoughts on this bill that has been passed, we'll take a look at the video where this bill was actually being passed.
Defilement of a minor should be different from that of rape. For a minor, this is a kid who is not capable of consenting or otherwise, and whose life can be destroyed almost permanently. Those involved in defilement should suffer greater punishment. I propose that it should be 20 years if you defile an underage. Because I've seen cases of boys and girls under 10 years old, 5 years old, defiled by adults.
You have proposed that for minors, defilement should carry 20 years. Any seconder?
Yes, sir.
Yes. A more severe one? There's a motion. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion, ably moved by Senator Adam Oshambale.
For minors.
For minors. That the penalty should be 20 years instead of 10 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Imprisonment.
I say second.
And no option of fine.
No option of fine.
We saw the progression of that particular bill. Adam Oshomole proposed 20 years imprisonment for defilers of young children, and that went on from 20 years, and other members of the House said 20 years was not enough and even went on for life imprisonment, although some senators even proposed a death sentence. Now, we have come to the conclusion that we have agreed for life imprisonment for defilement of minors. Now, I'm going to ask two questions, Mr. Daniel Sacramento. First of all, 2025. We just saw them approving the bill for life imprisonment for those caught in the act. Now, this applies to not just the males, but the females as well. If you defile a young boy, you are going to prison. If you defile a young girl, you're going to imprison. You are going to be imprisoned for life. Now, in 2025, do you think that this is early enough? Why now? And secondly, how do we see the North receiving this particular bill?
Sharon, as if you read it.
Your mind.
My mind here, because a lot of things were just cropping up. The truth about it is that there is no time that is late to do the right thing. It's not. There's no time that is late. Then coming to the other one, The truth about it is this. I don't know how they're going to perceive, because while Oshomole was saying this, I was just looking at him and I was laughing. Then all of a sudden, somebody else, another senator had to stand up to second the motion. One thing is to bring up a bill or raise a motion. Another thing is implementation. Now, we all know that in the northern region and some southern regions, they marry little kids off.
Yes.
We all know that. So the truth about it is that in as much as the bill has been passed, a lot of sensitizations is needed.
They need to spread the message.
It has to be spread. People have to understand the gravity of what they are doing. Then in the emirs in the north should be addressed. Should tell them that this is not about religion. This is about civility. This is about doing the right thing. This is about having the right sense. Because all of it, that is why we have miscreants all over everywhere.
Yeah.
I wonder what these people always think when they talk about, when they move into defilement of minors. And so I heard him saying 5 years, 10 years. From 1 year to 15 years, it's a minor.
Definitely.
Because they don't know they are left to right.
You know, we've not even defined
Yes, that the age grade.
for
No, I'm just trying to they should know that these people are minor. That is the truth. Because until you leave your father's or your mother's comfort, do you understand? You can't fend, a minor can't fend for him or herself. So you have just started making the decision. That was why they said from 18 years, you become an adult. They believe that from 18 years, you have the ability to make some decisions. So because when people will now start looking at it and say minors are only from 5 years and all this about. No. All these early marriages where you marry 14 years, 13 years, 12 years. Absolutely. What do you think 13 years or 14 years old knows?
And they will even give birth.
Yes. So it's quite absurd when we see this. And majority of these people in the House of State, they are all involved. They are involved in it. The former governor of Zamfara State married a 13 years Egyptian girl. We were all aware then.
Did Ned Woko marry Regina at how old?
Okay,
Well, he met her at 16, married her at 18.
18 years.
No, hers is quite different because they married her at an adult age.
Yeah.
So, but with these things needs to be revamped, and that is where I bring in the Ministry of Orientation, because it's not only when I don't know how that ministry has been thriving. It's been long I heard about them.
Yeah.
After Dora Kunyili died, it means it was as if she died with the ministry.
Yeah.
Sensitization of a new Nigeria, sensitization of
New
laws, sensitization of what is it, should be carried out by that ministry. Orientation.
Yes.
What we need in this country is reorientation. Not passing, when you're passing bills, and the people you are passing bills to are adamant and are as strong as a concrete. You're just pouring water on a stone. It's of no use. So there should be a level of bringing all the civil societies, bringing traditional rulers, bringing the church, the religious bodies,
Yes.
both the Muslim and the Oga. These things has to change.
Of course.
So that is the only way when you begin to disseminate the informations, telling them that come. Once from all these things we keep doing, it has to stop. It's no longer going to be visible. I think these are where they should peg it at.
Now, dispersing this information, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, is what you rightfully just said. it's apart from the fact that we have problem with implementation, is also with getting this information across, because this is a culture that has been in existence for decades now. In order to be able to wipe out that orientation, you need to bring a new orientation, a reorientation, if I might say so. Now, if we're talking about, first of all, let's talk about this amazing law, this bill that has been passed now, even though some people consider it late, but like Mr. Daniel said, there is no time that is too late to do the right thing. Now, with this law that has been passed, do we see this actually being enforced? And like the point Mr. Daniel raised, how can we get this information to the grassroots so people are aware that there's no longer business as usual?
Okay, before I answer your question, I want to bring to the public notice that the Child Rights Law or Act have been in existence for decades now. So it is not new. This new bill that they just passed right now, it has been in existence. The only problem there is the enforcement. Now, even the criminal code, Section 218 talks about defiling a girl child between the age or under the age of 13. So there was actually an age specification on children that.
But was there life imprisonment?
Yes, there was life. Yes, imprisonment embedded there. It was written.
That was an act, but now it has been passed into law. It has not become a law.
Between an act
and okay. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that there was actually law. So why did it take? There was an act. Why did it take this long for that to be passed as a law? That is the question number one.
Maybe because of the Northerners.
Okay, and then the second question I want to ask is, why are we even deliberating on it? Why is the Senate House deliberating on it? Some people saying 10 years, some people saying 20 years. It's supposed to be a life imprisonment something. They are not even supposed to arrive at life imprisonment. It was supposed to be straight up. There is no negotiation. How can you tell me that a right-thinking man will defile a child of how many age? It does not make logical sense. That is number one. And then number two, I remember one time we discussed about Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, when she raised a motion, a prayer in the Senate House about the Libyan women that were actually trafficked to Nigerian women that were trafficked to Libya and were imprisoned, and most of them started giving birth in the prison. And she raised this motion. I remember how nonchalant the Senate House, particularly the Senator Goswe Akpabio, reacted to that particular prayer. For me, it feels like he doesn't really care about women aside. He doesn't really care about children aside. Now, I'm not talking about the women because I believe I've already talked about the women then that we discussed this. But my point there is, there are still women, there are still children, girl child that are being birthed in that prison. What happens to them? That is the question I'm asking. So this new law that they are passing right now, just like we said, enforcement is always the problem in Nigeria. And enforcement, because of the fact that they can actually settle some of these things out of court, and because of the fact that we have police and bribery in the system, they find it very difficult to enforce those laws.
Now, thank you very much, Ifoma, for that contribution. Now, moving on, I don't know how they plan to enforce this, but I'm just going to ask how we think this might play out, because there are institutions that shield abusers. When you look at the news, for instance, it's very easy for you to see the picture of the victim and not the abuser. How can we ensure that when this law is being enforced, that institutions that shield abusers will be dealt with accordingly?
When Nigeria is one kind of country, we make laws, we like to enforce. The police always want to come out. You see, before you talk about enforcement, there should be a level of sensitization. And I still maintain, until you make sure you exhaust every level of sensitization, like you rightfully say, this is an attitude that has been in existence ever since the world was created. It has been there. It has eaten deep into the fabric of the society. Religions, there are some religions that backs it up, you know, and what you may have. Yeah. Now, the issue is this. The Reorientation Agency has to stand up with civil societies. They have to take this crusade to every nook and cranny. It has to be a federation sensitization where every traditional rulers, every religious rulers, every heads of family and everything you have will come together in different states and tell them the penalties that are involved when things like this arises. Parents too should be involved in it. Exactly. Because they are there. There is a lady I used to go and take to block rosary. But she's a very grown-up lady now. So she was living with a man. And I thought the man, she thought she was brought as a maid. She was very little. Her name was Charity then. Now, after so many years, I traveled. She came to me and said, "Do I remember?" I said, "I can't," but she reminded me. And I said, "How are you now?" I said, "Fine." I said, "How is your uncle?" He said, "That man wasn't his uncle. That she was married off to that man."
Interesting.
At the age of 13.
Wow.
She has 3 kids, as I speak to you.
From that man?
From that man. Now, when I met her, she was in court to divorce the man. You could see the scenario. Yes. So, and a lot of things have been happening. There are a lot of abuses that follows it up because the man will take advantage of the naiveness of the girl. Now, for you to reintegrate her into the society, it's a job of its own. So this is why it shouldn't just end in the House of Senate.
Exactly.
Civil societies, everybody, the church, the mosque, everybody must be involved in this matter. The way they came together to abolish the Osu thing, they should come together and place a ban to say these things must stop. Before you marry a lady, she has to come of age.
Marital age, yes.
She has to come of age.
Exactly.
So most of the time, parents are the causes of all this. When we have to look, when we talk about defilement, now okay, we are talking about the ones parents cause, and so many other things they do. You see, there are a lot of drug people that are all over the places, because we have to look at the causes of defilement. When you are training up a child in a very
unsafe
environment, it becomes a problem. Now, not just that you know that you're in a unsafe environment, you keep buying clothes that attracts unnecessary attention. That is one, because these are the things you must look at. Then you keep sending your kids who are not of age to some certain places. Yeah. I remember when we were growing up, there are places my mom and our dad would not allow us to go to. They would go there themselves. But I say, if you not go, I ain't go carry, begin know something. From there, it begins to meet unnecessary people. From there, it begins to attract attention of miscreants, hoodlums. Before you know it, it leads to defilement. Yeah. So these are things that must, you see, if Nigeria, like you rightly say, if we take things serious, if we call a spade, yes, we won't, these things would have been long taken care of. But just because we treat things at kick globe, because maybe we are 200 and something million, so people are thinking of how to reduce us. Okay. So, yes. So what we're saying in essence is that they must look into this matter. Not just National Orientation Agency, NOAA, must stand up on this, so that people will begin to know the penalties that now is no longer an act. It has now been signed into law.
The Nigerian law.
The Nigerian law. So everybody must sit up to make sure that they are.
Let me just say something, Mr. Daniel Sacramento. Sorry, I'll be brief. We'll have to move on to the next story. Sorry to cut you short. Now we are moving on to what is happening in the northern region. Now, recently we've been seeing claims on social media where international bodies, even Senator Ted has come out of the USA, have come out to say that there is Christian genocide, especially in the north, with numbers like 7,000 Christians being killed and like 3 churches being burned down every single day. Now, Khan and the presidency, they had a meeting, and after that meeting, the presidency came out to say that Khan agrees that there is nothing like Christian genocide, and that is where all the back and forth started, with Khan coming out to dispute that fact and saying that it did not call the killings of Christians in the north as so-called genocide. So that's the phrase that is causing controversy now, that he didn't just say that there is a so-called genocide ongoing. And with that type of statement, it is as though they are saying that there is no genocide or there is no killing of the Christians in the north at all, and it's playing down on the pains of Christians in the north and their family members. But first of all, we want to understand what you think Khan is saying, Ifoma. Do we think Khan is saying there is no Christian genocide, or they are just saying there is killing of Christians but not genocide?
Okay, I think Khan actually came and clapped back at the presidency, because the meeting they had where he disclosed what was going on with the Christian community was the case of the genocide attack on the Christians. So it was quite disheartening that the presidency took to the media and refuted that or rebutted that, you understand? And that is why you see Khan coming back to, clap back at the presidency. That is number one. And then when we talk about, because this whole thing is surrounding genocide, I don't know whether the presidency is really understanding what we mean by genocide. Genocide is more like an attempt to destroy a particular region or a particular ethnicity or religion. And these people have come out to tell you that they are killing Christians. Sharon, we talked about this last week, about a pastor calling the international communities to come and rescue Nigerians, especially the Christians, that they are massacring people in the north. You understand? We see it in the news every single day. I understand the fact that maybe the president is trying to protect the image of Nigeria, the reputation of Nigeria with the international body, so that they won't be seeing us in a different light. But at the same time, I felt it's something that he was supposed to call the president of Khan in an enclosed environment. Okay, I understand your plight, because like I said, people are in anguish, people are in agony, that their loved ones, they are burying their loved ones en masse. It's not something to be, treated in this manner, especially in the press. So I was thinking the president was going to take the higher initiative to call the president of Khan and say, oh, I understand your plight. Now, how do you expect, or what do you want from the government? Or these are the ways, these are the plans we have to treat this menace in happening in Nigeria. Because we know, apart from the Christians being massacred, that even the Muslims are equally massacred. You understand?
Thank you.
So that's
now, I like that you said that. Now, there are some things that I'm just going to bring to our notice that the federal government of Nigeria said. So they said that that the entire genocide claim is based off of outdated data and claims from unidentified NGOs, which means they are not. They also went as far as saying that they are not being logical, right? That there is a methodology to research. Now, how do we perceive the stance of the presidency on saying things like this is an old methodology, this is an outdated data, when we have the lives of Christians that are being lost day in, day out. But you sit down and you tell me things like outdated data, outdated methodology. Now, is it that the lives of these Christians are nothing but numbers and figures to the presidency is what we are trying to understand? And apart from that, now, what do we call it when churches are burned, clergy are kidnapped, and Christian villages are wiped out?
Genocide.
Okay, Sharon, the truth about it is this. Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis. And I know the fear of the presidency.
Please let us know what exactly are
the
they
fear of the presidency is they wouldn't want to single a particular religion out. It is not done in administration. You can't give in to say yes that only the Christians are being wiped out.
What would that mean if they accept
no,
that?
it doesn't show responsibility. It doesn't show leadership. That is the truth. You don't show. So and the truth about it is that if it was some years back, we would have agreed. They would have agreed. I'm saying we, as if I'm in the administration. So they would have agreed that, but as it stands today, the Northerners are being killed as well. The Christians are killed. Do you understand? The Muslim and the Christians are all partaker of all these issues.
By whom? Sorry.
By the terrorists and the bandits.
Who are who? Are
they
Christian terrorists? Am I Christian terrorists?
No, yes, they might. Because let me give you an instance. You see the people that have been buried in Plateau states. Majority of the Plateau are Christians. Now, they wouldn't come and wipe out or sack one of their villages. There was definitely going to be a retaliation. That is how it works. Now, what it means is that the federal government and the presidency, who is also the presidency, have not really sat down to find out the root cause of this issue. I bet you these are political issues, these are religious issues. I know there are so many imams in the mosque who go as far as doing incitements. I know there's some men of God who as well do some of incitements. That is the truth. All these religious killings you are seeing is act of incitements.
Not all of them, because they are also
majority or even the terrorists. It's not incitement. It's not the cause of incitement. That's why they are going out to kill Christians. The Christians you were killing, did they do anything?
Did they go to religious houses?
Yes.
Find them.
You just said there was a video where a church was bombed down.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the terrorist organization. You are saying that it's...
They go to the mosque. They bomb down mosques.
That's what I'm saying. That, do they have a place of worship? Because
why not? You even see them. You even see them drop their guns. You will see them drop their guns and they say they are praying because they call the Christians infidels.
So that's what I'm saying. Now they are led by the Islams now.
No.
Because we don't see
you will call it Islam, but the real set of Islams will tell you we do not support killings.
We know that.
Now the issue is this: where are all these things coming from? That is why I said about 3 or 4 years ago, an imam was arrested by the Department of State Security. What happened? He was inside the bus and he was having a heavy incitement against the Christians, and he was picked up, and that mosque was demolished. So what I'm saying in essence is that, see, federal government must come out plain. They should fish out those people. They don't even say the names of the people who are perpetrating these acts, who are causing these issues. There are some emirs that are causing this problem. Who will always say, go and these people are infidel. It was in their presence that this girl was stoned to death, burned to ashes.
The Christian girl.
The Christian girl. For doing nothing. Somebody made an incitement that she said something wrong. Blasphemous stuff against the Quran. And she was killed. without any
fair
hearing from her. You see, so what I'm trying to let you know that there are levels of all this level of incitement.
Okay, thank you.
I saw when they killed a Christian pastor, the Boko Haram killed him. They asked him to denounce Christianity. He said he would not do that. He was beheaded.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Daniel, sorry, I want to thank you for that. Quickly. Now I'm going to ask you for I don't think you were able to say that. Just answer this so that we can close the show. Now, with what we are seeing now, what is going to be the way forward for us, especially with this genocide claim that international bodies are seeing and with the Nigerian government refuting that claim?
I think the federal government should maybe try as much as possible to deploy, security agencies to especially the north, because that is where we are having this particular problem, and see how they can nip this problem to the board. That's what I have to say. But I just need to say this equally, that I remember one time in the news where I saw government officials attending bandits' wedding, their children's wedding in Katsina State, and it just clocked my mind right now that even the government itself is as if they are in cahoots with this criminal. So it's more like asking the government
of negotiation.
It's more like asking the government to fish out themselves and prosecute themselves and jail themselves.
So it's not going to be possible going forward.
My dear.
Anyways, this is Morning Pulse, where we discuss the politics surrounding and around Nigeria. I've been here with Ifoma Oji and Mr. Daniel Sacramento, and I want to say thank you to you both for your contributions thus far. Now, to all our viewers, for your viewing and your comments, we see you and we encourage you to keep on doing that. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do so. Follow us across all social media platforms at Active Citizens. You can find me on my personal page on Instagram and Facebook at Sharon Enemchukwu and Jiriforma.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miselex.
No need to ask. You will always find Mr. Daniel Sacramento in the studio. Till we come your way this afternoon. Do have a good morning.